Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here. This is TarotScopes. This will be the TarotScopes for the sign of Sag. That's Sag Sun, Sag Moon, Sag Rising. Now, I'm doing it a little bit differently this month. This is actually the way I did it at the beginning of the year. I did a little astrology with charts, and then I did the TarotScope. And I had to actually stop doing it because I got too busy and it took too much time. But this is a very fraught time as we are in the middle of eclipse season at a very pivotal time in, at least in the United States and probably the world's history. So I thought a little extra would be in order. So I'll start with the astrology and then the tarot reading will follow. If you are just interested in the tarot reading, there will be a timestamp, so you can go right to that if you don't want to hear the astrology. Or if you want to hear it, and then maybe later you want to go back, you'll have the option. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so we have Sagittarius. We're looking at Sagittarius. This is most helpful when you're looking at this chart if you happen to be a Sag rising, but it also applies to Sag Sun and Sag Moon. We are in the time of the Sun being in Libra. In fact, on the 2nd, we have a new moon in Libra. And in fact, it is a new moon solar eclipse. It is not a total solar eclipse like we had back in April. It is a partial solar eclipse. It is happening at the south node of the moon. If you look here, we have the south node in Libra, the north node in Aries. The lunations occur at the nodes. This one here, the new moon that happens on the 2nd, is actually close enough to the node to be an eclipse. The full moon that happens on the when is that? The 17th is actually not an eclipse. It's not close enough to the node to be considered an eclipse, but the axis gets activated either way. And for you, Sagittarius, it's the axis of love. The south node here with this new moon eclipse in your house of friends. Now, it is a south node eclipse, so it can be about endings and new beginnings. And so you may lose some friends and then you may gain some friends. The full moon that happens on the 17th is happening in your house of love and also children. So something could come to fruition at that time. It's in Aries, so it's going to be new and exciting. Now, you as a Sagittarius, you are ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter this month actually stations retrograde. It moved into Gemini at the end, I believe it was the end of May, and has been moving quickly forward since then. And then on the 9th of October, it stations at 22 degrees of Gemini. Actually, that's right on the ex-president's sun, and North Node is right there. So it turns around. You know, retrogrades don't really turn around. It just looks like it's moving backwards from our perspective on planet Earth. So when a planet is retrograde, it's more introspective. And Jupiter and Gemini, there's been a lot of an expansion of information. Now for you, and now we get a chance to go over that information. So a lot of things that came out while Jupiter was moving forward in Gemini, now we have an opportunity to go back and go over it. It is in the house of legal matters. So for those who might have some legal issues, this is an opportunity to sort of go over some of that stuff. For you, Sag, it is in your house of relationships, your house of one-to-one relationships, can be marriage, can be business relationships. There's been an expansion, perhaps it expanded too much. Now it's time to sort of go back and evaluate that expansion. And so when it goes to move forward again, you've sort of stabilized all the growth that you have had. The sun moves into your 12th house when the sun moves into Scorpio. That's happening on the 22nd. We also on that day have a trine of Mercury to Saturn, Mercury in Scorpio, Saturn in Pisces. Of course, Saturn's in Pisces, Neptune's in Pisces. Neptune's been there for 14 years. Saturn's been there now for 2 years. In your fourth house, testing your relationships with your family. All of this water in your fourth house, you do have to watch for flooding. So just be aware of that. The other thing that's happening as far as planets changing direction this month is, excuse me, it's allergies. You have to excuse me. Pluto stations direct. Now, Pluto just back into Capricorn on the 1st of September and has been backing into that last degree of Capricorn. And now it turns around and starts to move out. We'll move out by the 19th, 20th of November. That is your second house. Your second house is resources. Pluto's been there a long time. It's also the second house is your values. And with Pluto moving through there for about 16 years, you've had a transformation of your values, also a transformation of your sense of your own value. And hopefully you've come out the other side knowing just how precious you are. Venus, the planet of love, starts the month in your 12th house in Scorpio. Venus likes being in the 12th house, one of the few planets that does. Mercury is there as well, but Mercury moves in later in the month. Mercury actually moves into Scorpio on the 13th. So the first part of the month, it's in your house of friends, and then after the 13th, it moves into that 12th house, that psychic house, that connection to source. And then we also have the sun there after the 22nd. So you're already pretty psychic, and it's just going to get more psychic. There's also a lot of water in this chart at this time, with the sun and Mercury and Venus all in Scorpio, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Mars, the planet of action, in Cancer. This can be a little fraught. Mars in Cancer has trouble. Mars has trouble in Cancer. It's a lot of energy and a lot of feelings, which, for some people, that's okay. And it may also be okay for you, but it is in your 8th house. And the 8th house is a repository of a lot of very deep feelings. And those things might get sort of turbulent. The emotional waters can become turbulent. And so if you have any kind of issues with intimacy or not trusting or betrayal, some of that stuff can come up. We do need to learn how to navigate these choppy waters, and forgiveness is a good tool for that. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Don't allow your anger or your resentment to sap your energy or affect your relationships in a negative way. That's my cat. All right, so I think that's all I want to say. I don't want to keep this too long because you still have the tarot scope. You have the tarot part of the tarot scope after this. But I think an intense month, an emotional month, a time of introspection, actually, but also a time of, to a certain extent, new beginnings in certain areas, and a lot of creativity. So make the most of it, and I'll see you again next month. Take care, and next comes the tarot scope. Hello, Sagittarius. It's time to do the tarot part of the tarot scopes. And so I'm going to be using the Tarot of the Spirit, one of my favorite decks. Very Kabbalistically oriented, one of the reasons why I love it. And the book that comes with this deck, if you are interested in Kabbalah, There's actually a large book written by Pamela Eakins, not the little book that comes with the cards, but actually the big book. They used to sell them in sets. I don't know. I'm assuming they still sell it in a set, but it is a treasure trove of her understanding of working with the Kabbalah. It really is quite a beautiful book, very informative. I actually use it when I teach Kabbalah. I put that as one of the references that you can utilize. All right, so we're looking at October 2024, of course, a very intense period right before the US elections. So there's all that going on. And it is here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, the fall. And so it's a harvest time. In the Northern Hemisphere, you're planting in the Southern Hemisphere, spring, so you're planting seeds. So doesn't matter where you are, you're doing something. Okay. We start with the Three of Water. This card has come up a lot, actually, the Three of Cups. It's about celebration. It's about sharing. It's about friendship. It's about understanding, camaraderie, celebration, overflowing of abundance, and sharing that abundance with others. What is challenging that is the Sister of Water. This is the Page of Cups. So this is messages coming, generally good messages. So it's hard to see it as a challenge, but we'll continue because sometimes challenge card becomes more obvious as the reading goes on. At the root, we have the Four of Swords here, the Four of Winds, called Mastery in this deck. There is a balance here. There is a sense of rest, perhaps, recuperation, perhaps, but there's also a sense of constraint in this. So there is a peace, there is a sense of rest of the mind. Now, seeing as it's at the bottom of the reading and at the root, which is often the question or the core of the question, perhaps the question is, how do I keep my mental stability? Okay, so we'll put a pin in that, as they say, and we'll continue. In the past, oops, we have the Strength card. This is a balance card, right? This is the year we're in. We're in a strength year, the 8th vibration, numerologically, which means that you have held your ground. You have been able to hold the higher vibration. It's taken a lot of strength. It's taken a lot of effort. The Strength card is about the Kundalini, and we can see the Kundalini rising here. It is about spirit overcoming the carnal nature. So you have worked really hard and to keep your strength up and bear witness to what you're seeing at this time. Let's see what's in the sky. The Brother Wind. This is the Knight of Swords, who can have the right intention, but their actions tend to create chaos. So there's a lot of chaos, and in the sky, as I've said over and over again in this particular month, especially, what's in the sky is sort of the zeitgeist. And so there's this energy of fighting for what's right, but there's a lot of chaos as well. And I don't know if you can see it, but in this deck, the face is actually a skeleton. So there is a lot of tumult out there. There is a lot of tumult. In the immediate future, we have the Ten of Swords. Something coming to an end, an utter end. So there's something in your life, or there's something in our lives that are coming to an end. This is this card on here. It says Sun in Gemini. So there could be the end of a Sun in Gemini person. That's all I'm going to say about that. But it is the end of something and the beginning of something else. All tens are culminations with the seed of a new beginning. So even though things are ending, it doesn't mean they're just, that particular thought form is ended. Okay, so the swords are about thoughts. And so it's a way of thinking that comes to an end for you. Something perhaps you no longer want to entertain. How it's seen from the outside. Well, you're seen as the mother of cups. You're seen as nurturing, loving, compassionate. This, I don't know if you can see, but this is Kuan Yin, and there's the lotus there. See the lotus? The lotus of compassion. So you're well loved for the love that you give and the support that you give. Domestic situation. This deck has a mystery card. So the domestic situation is not yet formulated. It is a mystery still. In a way, especially with this card as the immediate future, and then this card as the domestic situation. This is the end of a thought, the end of a thought construct. And so now in your environment where you spend most of your time is potent with potential. You're going to get to pick and choose what it is that you want to start, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Hopes and fears. The 8 of Wands, the 8 of Fire. This is the lightning flash. This is the lightning flash that goes down the tree of life, actually, from Cather down to Malkuth. It goes like this. Across the abyss, through Tippereth, and down. That's how that goes. The 8 of Fire. So hoping for an inspiration? Well, don't worry, it's coming. And you are an empty vessel at this point. So what is spirit? Will spirit give you instructions? Are you looking forward to that? Or are you afraid of that? Is it a hope or is it a fear? We have the Father of Water, the Father of Cups. This is the nurturing Father, the loving Father, the supportive Father. Now I'm going to pick 3 more cards, or until I get a major arcana. We have the Mother of Winds, the true seeker, the seeker of truth, the one who speaks the truth and can create chaos because of it. Not the same kind of chaos as this guy, because this guy is immature. This is immaturity in the outer, in the sky. This is maturity. She holds the sword of truth, the Queen of Swords. And it's interesting because I just want to point out, and I don't want to make this political, but the King of Cups is Biden and the Queen of Swords is Kamala, astrologically. He's a Scorpio and she's a Libra. Let's continue. The 7 of Wands, too much information running through my brain. Too much information driving me insane. A lot of talk, a lot of talk. The question is, can you see the truth from all the, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying something. You need to stay centered in the truth. And let's see, one more. The Mother of Fire. The Mother of Fire, calm, focused, internally focused. She has her eyes closed. I don't know if you can see that. This is a Baina card. Baina is the place, the black one on the Tree of Life, is the place of the Divine Mother. She is the sustainer of spirit. There's the lion there. She's holding the lion at her feet. She has control over her lower nature, and she is connected to Source. You see that? Connected to Source. So, despite all you are getting direct connection to Source. Let's see what's underneath it all. Temperance, your card. This is about walking the straight and narrow. It is a trial by fire, but it is alchemical. It's fire and water coming together. It's spiritual initiation. It's the moon and the sun, the path of the mystic. You are the mystic, my dear. The sun, full illumination, and the hermit, wisdom. What I want to say is that you were right. You were right. You were right. All right, let's pick a Mystic Sisters Oracle. Because of the intensity of the month, I'm using 2 Oracle decks. I usually only use 1. Can you hear the... That happens when Spirit wants to make a point. You were right. Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. I'm not sure people realize what it cost you. All right. All right, Mystic Sisters. Ooh, I think this is it. Nyx. This is a beautiful card. Excuse me, I will hold it up. Nyx is the goddess of the night, I believe. Okay. I think that's the last one. It's a beautiful day here. We got some rain after about 2 weeks without it. But here we've had a lot of rain, so it wasn't too destructive not to have the rain. It actually gave the land time to absorb everything that it had gotten previously. Okay, here we go. Next. Isn't this a beautiful card? I just love this card. Anyway, mystery and the unknown. Wow, isn't that interesting? It's interesting how these things repeat themselves, right? I think I'll hold them both up. Nyx, the Greek goddess of the night, beckons you to relax with the great mystery of the cosmos. Relax. Okay, sorry. She is a shadowy figure who thins the veil to magical realms. It is said that those who worship her would do so at night in complete darkness. Nyx reawakens our sense of wonder and awe of the unknown. She urges you to relax and find peace within the deep mysteries. She calms us when we become anxious over things we cannot know. We often become so involved with the day-to-day mundane tasks that we forget that deep magic is at work behind the scenes. synchronistic events, strange coincidences, powerful intuitions, or epiphanies through dreams are more likely to occur and help to resolve your faith in the mysteries of the universe. It is a time of rest. We're in a 18-9 vibration month. That is the moon, and it is about sleep. So you need to get your sleep, and your messages will probably come through that way, even if they don't normally. So pay attention to your night dreams. All right, and lastly, we were going to pick. I'm going to pick for you a Tree of Life Oracle, a wonderful deck by David Wells. David Wells. Very well done. I just shuffle until it feels like it's time to not shuffle anymore. It's the way I do it. Come on. What does the tree have to say for Sagittarius? The 15th path, Emperor, initiative, authority, and leadership. Sorry about the focus. Has to do with the light. When there's more than one source of light, it makes it hard to focus. There we go. And I move around a lot, which I probably shouldn't do. I'll try to stand still. That's good luck on that, right? Focus on this face. Make this better here. Just probably make it worse. Come on now. All right, I'm going to do a little trick. I'll be right back. This is my trick. See how it works? I just can't move. All right, 15th path, the Emperor, initiative, authority, and leadership. I will hold it up. It is an Aries energy. And of course, the North Node is in Aries, asking us to be our authentic selves. Eris, the goddess of discord, is in Aries as well. This path runs between Tiphereth and Hokmah, sometimes attributed to the star, but no, this is the Emperor's path. Its astrological sign is Aries. Jason has claimed his golden fleece. So now what? Arthur has his knights around him. What next? Soul-led leadership. What next indeed, Sagittarius? A mature king devoted to the work that he has embarked upon, the great work of his life, dedicated to those in his care, but also to development of his own soul, or her own soul, as I would say. When authority is offered, do you consider yourself ready to take it? Do you have to be ready? Can you grow into a role? Don't confuse authority with the mechanics of knowing stuff. Do you feel ready to make a difference? Do you feel you have the respect of others? And if you do have to learn as you go, can you show the strength required when questioned? You may feel well and truly ready and discover that you are not. How then do you activate your inner emperor? This card suggests that ready or not, good things are heading your way. Know that your work needs to be done, for the great work of your soul is no small matter. Oh dear. Don't hurry a decision. Get all the facts. A window to your soul. Motivation is opening now. This can often bring reflections on the path, on events that you may not have been, that may have not been your proudest moments, but inform your actions now as you move forward. So really, this isn't about being the perfect leader, but it's about learning. It's about developing. It's about being open. The window of the soul. This, I believe, is the constituting intelligence. 4 is the building vibration. Well, Sag, get your rest. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. This as a challenge. Accept the good. Accept the good. Just say thank you. All right. Have yourself a good month. Be careful out there. Take your time. You can rest on your laurels this month. Okay. If you would like to subscribe, please do. If you would like to join me and Ona for Mystic Sisters Live on Saturday nights, 6 Central, 7 Eastern time. It's either on my channel or Ona's channel, so you can watch, I put announcements as to whether it's my channel or her channel. If you want to interact with us on the chat, you do have to be a subscriber to her channel or my channel, or both, actually both our channels. Just depends on which channel we're on that week. And it's free, so it's no big deal. You just press the subscribe button and you can interact with us, ask us questions. We usually do some sort of like roundup of the week. There's been plenty of things to talk about. We don't run out of stuff to talk about. So if you want to be part of the fun, it's also fun and funny and sometimes sad, but that's our life. Life on earth is all those things. It is a glorious life that we get to share with you. If you'd like to, did I say join me in the morning? Maybe I didn't. Every morning I do look at the astrology of the day. And so you can check that out. And I walk through the garden, and although it is fall now and things are the leaves are starting to change, it's a whole different kind of beauty in the fall here. So you can join me for that. Otherwise, I'll see you again next month, November, the election month. I do have a sense, though, I'll say that the October surprise may be more surprising than we think. But we will see, won't we? Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful month. Namaste.